My precious child, I implore you with every fiber of my being to stay exactly where you are in this holy moment, because the frequency of the message you are about to receive is tuned specifically to the deepest resonance of your eternal soul. Do not look away, do not let your focus shatter, and for the sake of your destiny, do not scroll past this encounter, because as we speak, something massive and immovable is shifting in the very fabric of your life. You might feel as though you stumbled onto these words by a mere accident of fate or a random flicker of technology, but there are no accidents in the celestial architecture of the plans God has designed for your heart. There is a deep, ancient, and hidden truth that is finally being pulled from the shadows into the blinding light of the surface, and it involves a specific soul who has been carrying a heavy, burning secret about you for a very long time. This person has fallen for you in a way that is so intense, so profound, and so completely unexpected that it has frightened them into silence. And even though there is a significant, undeniable age difference between the two of you, a gap that the world uses to build walls, the spiritual connection is so powerful, so magnetic, and so divine that it can no longer be suppressed or ignored. God wants you to listen to this right now with the ears of your spirit, because your life is about to make sense in a way it never has before. You have spent so many lonely nights staring at the ceiling, wondering why certain doors remained locked or why you feel a persistent, unexplained pull toward a future you cannot quite see. Yet, the answer is breathing right next to you in the spiritual realm. There is a person out there who has been watching you from a distance with a heart full of sacred wonder. They did not fall for your outward appearance, your status, or the things you have achieved in the eyes of man. Instead, they fell for the unquenchable light that radiates from deep within your center, the kind of light that stays bright even when the world tries its hardest to dim your spark. They see the strength you carry in your quietest, most broken moments, and the way you continue to care for the world even when you are exhausted. This connection felt entirely impossible to them at first. They looked at the years between you and allowed their human mind to build a fortress of doubt. They told themselves 1,000 lies, that it could never work, that the timing was a mistake, or that the gap was too wide for society to ever truly understand or accept. They tried to use cold, hard logic to talk themselves out of the way they felt, desperately searching for reasons to walk away. But every single time they tried to turn their back on you, their heart whispered a different story, a story written in a language only the soul understands. They found themselves drawn back to your energy over and over again, like a moth to a holy flame. It wasn't just a physical attraction or a fleeting crush, it was a profound recognition of one soul calling out to its mirror across a crowded, chaotic room. They fought a brutal war against their own mind, but the heart always knows the truth before the head is even willing to acknowledge it. If this message is vibrating in your spirit right now and you feel that sudden spark of recognition in your chest, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel and leave a comment below about your journey. As this collective energy helps us all stay anchored on this divine path. Something huge, something life-altering, is waiting for you at the end of this revelation, and you can already feel the atmosphere changing around you. God has been a silent witness to every hesitation, every tear, and every fear this person has felt in the dark. God saw the moments they tried to distance themselves from you just to protect their own heart from the intensity of the bond. And yet, the Creator did not allow the connection to fade. In fact, the more they tried to run, the more God seemed to place you directly in their path, as if to say that what is divinely joined cannot be separated by human fear. Sometimes, the souls that are meant to walk together across the bridge of eternity do not arrive in the same season of life. One might be in the vibrant springtime of their journey while the other is in the wisdom-filled autumn. But that doesn't mean the harvest isn't beautiful, and it doesn't mean the love is any less real. God knows that true love does not follow the mathematical rules of age, it follows the spiritual path of purpose. The purpose written between the two of you was not a mistake, a glitch, or a random occurrence. It was a deliberate, masterful design intended to bring balance, healing, and peace to both of your lives. You have been seeing the signs lately, haven't you? Random thoughts of a specific person that pop into your head out of nowhere, or a sudden, heavy gut feeling that someone is thinking about you with an intensity that takes your breath away. Those aren't just tricks of your imagination. Those are the spiritual threads of this connection tightening across the distance. This person has been quietly asking for guidance in the middle of the night. They have been praying for you in the heavy silence, asking the heavens why they feel so deeply attached to someone they weren't expecting to love. They ask for clarity, wondering why your presence brings them a sense of peace that they haven't found in any other person or any other place. And the answer they keep receiving from the divine is that love is not about numbers, birth dates, or a calendar. Love is about the sacred assignment God has given you both to fulfill together in this lifetime. You are a calling in their life, not a coincidence. They are finally beginning to realize that the fear they felt was just a hollow shadow, and the light of this truth is much, much stronger. Very soon, the agonizing silence is going to break. This person has reached a breaking point where they can no longer keep their feelings buried in the graveyard of what-ifs. They have spent months, perhaps even years, trying to convince themselves that they could live a full life without ever expressing this truth to you. But the pressure of the love they hold is becoming too much to carry. They are moving from a place of paralyzing fear into a place of absolute, naked honesty. They are choosing to value the divine connection over the fleeting opinions of a world that doesn't understand the mysteries of the soul. They are getting ready to step forward and tell you exactly what has been happening in their heart while you were unaware and waiting. You need to prepare your heart for this massive shift. The age difference that once seemed like a mountain is about to look like a tiny pebble in the face of the tidal wave of love that is coming your way. God is aligning your timeline so that when this person finally speaks, your spirit will be ready to hear them. Every delay you've experienced, every heartbreak, and every moment of crushing loneliness was just a preparation for this specific chapter. You are not meant to be alone, and you are not meant to be with someone who only sees your surface. You are meant for someone who sees your soul regardless of the season you are in. Hold on to this feeling as we move forward into the deeper truth. The person who has been fighting their feelings is finally surrendering to the realization that you are their destiny. They are tired of the secrets, tired of the masks, and tired of the distance. They are looking at you and seeing their home, their sanctuary, and their entire future. This is the moment where the story changes forever. You are about to see that everything you went through, the pain, the waiting, the confusion, was leading you right here to this specific revelation. The journey is just beginning, and the most shocking part of the truth is still waiting to be revealed. Keep your heart open and your spirit ready because the next step is going to change the way you see love for the rest of your days. You are currently standing at a crossroads of a major spiritual revelation. And I urge you not to blink or look away because the truth I am about to share is getting deeper, more intense, and more personal. There is someone in your life who has been engaged in a violent, silent war within themselves for weeks, months, and perhaps even longer than you can imagine. This person didn't just let these feelings happen, they fought them with everything they had. They tried to delete you from their thoughts and convince their own heart that this connection was a dangerous mistake. They looked at the age gap between you and used it as a reason to build a fortress, telling themselves over and over that the timing was wrong or the situation was simply impossible. But every single time they tried to push you out of their mind, something miraculous and undeniable happened. God would bring your name, your face, and your essence back to the very center of their heart. No matter how hard they tried to focus on other things, other people, or their career, your spirit remained. They are not just attracted to you in a superficial way. They are drawn to you as if their soul recognizes you from a lifetime before the world began. This is a level of connection that transcends physical appearance, wealth, or social status. It is a deep spiritual gravity that they cannot escape. And it's because this bond was written in the stars long before either of you realized it. They notice the smallest, most beautiful details about you that others might overlook. They see the way your eyes soften when you are passionate. They notice the way your smile sometimes acts as a shield to hide your inner pain. To them, your presence feels like a warm embrace on a cold night. Even when there is a physical distance between you, they have spent countless nights asking God why they cannot stop thinking about you and why you feel like their only source of peace despite the age difference. And the answer they received from the divine was clear: you didn't choose them, I sent them. When a connection is sent by a higher power, no amount of fear, logic, or distance can break what is meant to be. If you can feel the truth of these words in your spirit right now, I invite you to subscribe to this channel and share your thoughts because your energy helps confirm this divine alignment for everyone watching. We are now entering a phase of Ultra Pro Max energy where the secrets this person has been hiding are about to be laid bare. You see, the age difference wasn't the only thing holding them back. The real shock is that they have been hiding a deep sense of insecurity from you. They often feel like you deserve someone better, someone who shines less brightly so they don't feel overshadowed, or someone they perceive to be more in your league. They watch you quietly and with a profound level of respect from afar. They see the strength you display when life gets difficult and the way you handle your burdens without a word of complaint. They are in absolute awe of how you continue to give love and kindness even when you feel broken inside. Every single day that passes, they find themselves falling a little deeper into this ocean of love. They have had nights where they cried out to the heavens, asking, "Why them? Why now?" In response, they were shown that you are not a distraction in their life, but rather a vital, non-negotiable part of their destiny. A few days ago, a major shift occurred within them. They experienced a moment of absolute, terrifying clarity, perhaps through a dream that felt more real than waking life. They saw a version of their future self, older and filled with regret, who whispered a haunting warning, "If you don't speak now, you will lose this light forever." This realization has drained the power out of their fear. Their courage is finally starting to grow, and the wall of silence they built around themselves is beginning to crack and crumble. They are now in the process of rehearsing exactly what they want to say to you. They spend their time imagining your reaction, wondering if you will be surprised, if you will remain silent, or if you will greet them with that smile they adore so much. But here is the most incredible part: they actually think you already know. They believe your soul has been pulling theirs closer all this time without a single word being spoken. They feel the invisible threads of destiny tightening. God is currently softening their fear and removing every block, every doubt, and every delay that has kept you apart. This person is reaching a breaking point where they can no longer hide behind logic or social norms. They are tired of the internal struggle and the constant replay of your voice in their head. Every night before they sleep, they used to ask God to take the feeling away if it was wrong. But instead, the feeling only grew stronger, deeper, and more undeniable. This is a divine alignment that is moving toward a massive explosion of truth. They are preparing to step out of the shadows and choose honesty over fear. They are realizing that life is far too short to let a connection this rare slip through their fingers. A message is forming in their mind. A confession is being polished. A sign is already on its way to you. You are not just a person they like, you are a calling that they must answer. Stay in this space of high expectation because the next layer of this revelation will reveal the exact moment everything changes. Something is shifting deep within your destiny at this very moment. And I need you to stay focused because everything is about to become crystal clear. You might feel a strange sensation in your chest, like your heart is finally locking into a truth it has known all along. Do not look away. Do not let this moment pass you by because what I am about to share is the closest you have ever been to the ultimate truth regarding the one who loves you. This is the part where your heart starts to race because you can feel that this message was written specifically for your soul. This person who has been quietly adoring you despite the age difference and the heavy silence has reached a point of no return. They have stopped running and they have stopped being confused. Just a few days ago, something happened that completely shattered the walls they had built up to protect themselves. It might have been a dream that felt too real to ignore, or perhaps a sign that appeared so vividly it left them breathless, showing them a future where you are standing right beside them. In that moment, they realized that losing the chance to be with you would hurt significantly more than any fear they have about the world's judgment. They were trying to go about their normal day, pretending that everything was fine and that their emotions were under control. They were attempting to maintain their new routines and distractions, trying to convince themselves that they could move on. But suddenly, out of nowhere, a memory of your voice or a flash of your smile hit them so hard that they couldn't push it away anymore. For the first time, they stopped fighting the feeling and simply let it in. That was the moment they understood that you aren't just a fleeting emotion or a temporary distraction. You are their peace and their comfort. You are the one person who brings a sense of calm into their internal chaos and makes their deepest fears fade away. They have spent time looking at other options, trying to convince themselves that they should want someone younger or someone in a different stage of life. But they realized yesterday that they don't want anyone else. They don't want someone better or someone who fits a social mold. They want only you. They see the age difference now as a divine balance rather than a barrier. They understand that where you might hesitate, they have faith. And where they feel weak, your intuition and spirit make them strong. This connection is no longer something they view with confusion, but rather as a soul-to-soul contract that was written long before you were even born. If this message is touching the deepest parts of your soul right now, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment about how you're feeling, because the next revelation is going to be the biggest one yet. This person is currently preparing to take a step that will change the dynamic of your relationship forever. They have been rehearsing their words and practicing their confession in their mind, imagining how your heart will beat when you finally hear their truth. They check their phone constantly, hoping to see a message from you while they overthink every single sign and interaction you've ever had. They have a secret suspicion that you already feel this connection. Even if you haven't said it out loud, they feel that your energy gives you away and that your silence speaks much louder than any words ever could. They recently reached out to God and asked for a sign that they couldn't ignore, a signal that would tell them once and for all if this love was meant to be. And God answered them so clearly, perhaps through a message or a reminder in their path, that they realized hiding is no longer an option. They are tired of pretending that you don't feel like home to them. Their heart has become restless and their thoughts have become clearer than ever before. They are moving away from the fear of what society might whisper and moving toward the truth of a divine alignment. They are closer than ever to expressing their reality to you. The signs are all aligning. The doors are opening and destiny is now standing right at your door. This person is choosing to step forward into the light of honesty, leaving behind the shadows of silence and the weight of their own hesitation. Get ready, because the moment they finally reach you, everything you thought you knew about your future is going to change. We are at the very end of this journey, but it is actually the beginning of your new life. Do not move an inch, because the final pieces of this divine puzzle are falling into place right now. You can feel the weight of this message in your chest, can't you? This is the moment where the story moves from a whisper to a roar and from a secret to a full revelation. The person who has been carrying you in their heart despite every fear and every year between you has reached the point of no return. They can no longer keep the truth buried under the weight of, what if, or what will people think. Last night, they felt an overwhelming pull toward you that was stronger than anything they have ever experienced. It was a thought so loud it felt like a whisper directly in their ear, warning them that if they stay silent any longer, they will lose you forever. That realization shook them to their very core. They sat in the silence of their room, replaying the sound of your voice and the way your energy feels like home, even when you aren't there. In that quiet moment, they admitted something to themselves that changed everything. They have never loved anyone the way they love you, and they know they never will again. This person has been battling an inner storm for so long. It wasn't because they didn't love you, but because they loved you too much to risk hurting you or the connection. They tried to walk away several times, convincing themselves that the age gap was a barrier that couldn't be crossed. They tried to silence the deep connection God placed inside them. But every time they took a step back, something pulled them right back to you. Whether it was a sudden memory, a rush in their chest, or a thought that arrived without warning, they realized they couldn't escape your essence. There was a day not long ago when they sat alone, holding their head in their hands, wondering why you feel like home and why every prayer they speak leads back to you. In that exact moment, God placed a calm feeling inside their heart, a confirmation that they weren't falling by accident, but by design. This truth hit them like a wave. They tried to distract themselves with new routines, new people, and new hobbies, but nothing worked. When God writes someone into your destiny, no distraction can erase their name. If this final truth is hitting you like a wave and you feel ready to receive what God has for you, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment sharing your gratitude for this alignment. As we prepare for this new chapter together, this person has finally surrendered to the fact that this isn't just a simple feeling or a temporary crush. They recognize that this is a soul contract, a divine agreement written by God before time began. They had a conversation with the Creator in the middle of the night, asking for a sign so strong they couldn't deny it. And that sign came with such force and clarity that they knew God was not going to let them forget you. They are no longer afraid of what people will say or how society will judge the age difference. The only thing they are afraid of now is the possibility of living a life without the one person God placed in their destiny with such precision. They have made a firm promise in their heart today to stop running, to stop doubting and to stop overthinking every little detail. They have decided to step forward and reveal what they have kept buried for far too long, and they are trusting that God is clearing the path for them. You need to understand how much they truly admire you. They respect your journey and the way you hold yourself with such grace. They think about you right before they close their eyes at night and imagine all the conversations you haven't had yet. They replay the small moments you shared, moments that might have seemed insignificant to you, but meant the world to them. The age difference that used to scare them now feels like a shield, making this connection feel rare, protected, and holy. They are building up their courage at this very moment to break the silence. They are choosing truth over fear and love over logic. This person is coming toward you not because it is the easy thing to do, but because it is the only thing to do. It is a matter of destiny. And as they have finally learned, destiny is much stronger than silence, fear, or any number of years. Your life is about to take a turn that will leave you breathless in the best way possible. Every attempt they made to ignore this was a failure because the light inside you is too bright to be ignored. They saw a future version of themselves that warned them against silence. And they have finally taken that warning to heart. They are preparing to stand in front of you, tired of pretending and tired of hiding. And they are ready to say that they didn't choose to love you. God chose it for them. They finally understand that you were not placed in their life to confuse them, but to complete a chapter written long before you were born. Very soon, you will receive a sign, a message, or a moment of absolute confirmation that everything you have felt is real. Their feelings, their intentions, and their love are all heading your way like a freight train of truth. This is not a coincidence or a random series of events. It is the beginning of the chapter that God wrote for both of you long ago. The age difference didn't stop them, and the silence couldn't break them. Now, it is time for the two of you to step into the light together. Prepare your heart for what is coming because the love that was written specifically for you is finally on its way home. You have waited, you have wondered, and you have prayed. And now the universe is answering back. Everything you have been through was just a lead up to this moment of total honesty and divine connection. Trust the process. Trust the timing. And most importantly, trust the love that is arriving at your door right now. Destiny is stronger than all the fear you have ever felt. And your story is finally about to unfold in the most beautiful way imaginable.